Hey folks, let's just sit back and imagine this with me for a second, okay? Picture yourself waking up one ordinary morning back in 1965, somewhere way out in rural America, maybe in the middle of those endless cornfields in Iowa, or up on the rolling hills in Minnesota, or even down in the dusty plains of Kansas. You open your eyes and the room is quiet. No buzzing phone, no bright screen glaring at you, just soft sunlight sneaking through those thin curtains. Your mom probably sewed herself from fabric she picked up at the local store. The air smells like fresh hay mixed with a bit of wood smoke from the stove downstairs. And you can already hear your dad outside pulling on his old boots heading to the barn while your mom is clanging pans in the kitchen, making breakfast, and the only sounds are roosters crowing far off and cows lowing in the distance. No traffic, no notifications, nothing rushing you. That's how a lot of days started for families in rural America back then. And today I want to talk about what that whole life really felt like, especially around the shops, the church gatherings, and the farms, and then compare it to how things are rolling in 2026, because, man, it's different in ways that hit you when you really stop and think about it, you know? So the mornings back then, they had this slow, steady beat that most folks today probably never lived through. Kids would get up early, like 5:30 or 6, because there was actual work waiting before school. The little ones might run out to gather eggs from the chicken coop still warm from the hens, while the bigger kids helped Dad milk the cows by hand, or with one of those simple machines that clicked and clanked breakfast wasn't grab and go. It was a real meal, eggs. Bacon or sausage from your own animals, biscuits, gravy, oatmeal if it was chilly, and the milk came straight from the cow. That same morning, the whole family sat at the wooden table. Even if it was only 15 minutes, they chatted about whether what field needed work or if the neighbor's tractor broke again. It felt like the day started together, not alone and rushing off. I catch myself wondering sometimes, when was the last time families did that without phones on the table, you know? Then after that, the kids would clean up, put on school clothes, and head out, maybe walking or biking or catching the bus that bounced down the dirt road. Schools in those days were often small. Some still had those one-room setups where one teacher handled all grades and older kids helped. The younger ones' lunch was homemade sandwiches or leftovers eaten outside on the grass, with games made up on the spot. After school, kids changed clothes fast and jumped into chores, feeding animals, hauling water, stacking hay. It wasn't seen as punishment. It was just part of being family, and there was a quiet pride in keeping the place going. Now, the shops, those little general stores right in the middle of town, they were the real heart of everything you walked in for. Flour, sugar, fabric, seeds or oil for the tractor, and before you knew it, you'd be standing there talking to the owner for 20 minutes about corn prices this year, how the new road might bring more trucks through, or swapping stories about whose cow had twins, or the wedding last weekend. It wasn't shopping, it was catching up.
Morning,
Everyone
Earl.
knew.
What brings you in
Everyone
today?
kids could play
Howdy, Tom.
outside,
Just
and
checking on
folks
that
on their
sea order.
porches kept an eye
Right
out.
here. How's the
Word
family?
traveled
Doing well,
fast if
thanks.
something
Looks like a fine
happened,
batch.
good or bad, and that made the whole place feel safe and tight. Like one big extended group, I stop and think, hey friends, does that sound nice? Or does it feel too close for comfort nowadays? Because in 2026, a lot of those stores are long gone, replaced by big box places or apps where you click buy and a truck shows up. No talking, no smiles, just the package at the door. It's faster, sure, but something about the daily hello and how are the kids feels missing. And I wonder if you feel that too when you order online. Then there were the church gatherings. Those were something else. Every Sunday after the service, nobody rushed home. Families brought dishes for a potluck, fried chicken, potato salad, fresh pies. The women chatted recipes, the men talked crops and prices. The kids ran around playing tag or climbing trees. It wasn't fancy, but it was the town's big meeting spot if someone's barn burned the next weekend. Hammers came out and food showed up. People looked out for each. other in real ways, not
Yeah,
just
thank
likes
you so much for
online,
that extra
especially in
warmth.
summer
That
with
sounds
picnics or winter
delightful.
socials
The porch
inside
looking
the
fine
hall
this
when
year, ain't it?
snow was
Great,
deep. You'd hear
thanks.
laughter stories and sometimes light gossip, but the kind that kept the community watching over. Folks that support felt built in because most people worked close to home, stayed in the same area for years, and shared the same rhythms. I mean, let's be real, friends. If you grew up in the city, you might think this sounds like a movie, but for many families, it was just Tuesday. And then the farms themselves, they were the center of it all. Most were family operations, parents and kids side by side with older tractors that needed fixing by hand planting season. Everyone helped sow the seeds. Harvest time, relatives showed up. Dust everywhere, sweat but laughs too, because you saw the crops grow from. Your own effort evenings meant supper on the porch, listening to the radio, or one of the few TV channels bedtime early, because tomorrow started the same way, steady and predictable, year after year, season after season. But then things started shifting, not all at once, but slow and steady. Technology improved, cars got better, highways stretched out, making it easy to drive to cities for better jobs. Schools and hospitals pulled young people away, big companies moved into farming with huge machines that replaced
This
dozens of
warmth is a blessing.
hands.
We're all in this
Globalization
together.
brought cheaper stuff and squeezed small operators. Prices for
With
crops
neighbors
stayed
like you,
low while
we'll
costs
weather any storm.
rose. Debt piled up on family farms. Many sold out or closed stores. Followed because fewer people shopped. Local churches saw attendance drop as folks got busy with work or new entertainments like TV, then later internet. The tight community loosened. People left for opportunities and didn't always come. Back towns got quieter with empty buildings and older residents staying behind. You see, the reasons stack up. Technology sounded great, less backbreaking work, but it meant fewer jobs on the land. Big business efficiency won out over small family ways. Cities offered money and excitement that rural life couldn't match right away. And over decades, from the 70s into the 90s and then the 2000s, it all added up, leaving many places changed. Some say it's progress. Life is easier, medicine, better stuff arrives fast, entertainment endless, but others miss the closeness, the knowing your neighbor, the feeling you belong somewhere solid and weren't just scrolling past life. I don't have all the answers myself, friends. Some days I think the old way had hardships. No AC, hard labor, limited choices if you wanted college or a different career. Not every town was perfect. There were struggles and narrow views too, but the pace, the connections, the shared days, they hit different. And if I circle back to the shops for a minute, in the old days, buying milk meant chatting about the harvest or hearing about the new baby down the road. Today it's an app, no conversation, just convenience. But sometimes that convenience leaves a quiet spot where the hello used to be with the church potlucks. They still happen in pockets, but smaller, shorter, because schedules are packed and screens pull attention. The big family feeling fades, even if the food is still good. The farms now run with GPS, tractors, and computers, family ones that made it fight debt and markets. The daily handwork and group effort got replaced by machines, and isolation creeps in. Hey friends, what do you think? If you had the choice, would you pick the slow, tight-knit days of the 60s or the fast-connected? Now, maybe a bit of both. I go back and forth myself, the quiet mornings with family chores, the store talks, the church laughs, the farm pride. Those memories stick with people who lived them. Even now in 2026, when they tell stories, their eyes light up, describing the smell of the barn or the taste of garden tomatoes or how the town showed up for hard times. It stays with them deep. Meanwhile, life today has its wins, comfort, safety nets, endless info, but the empty storefronts, aging populations, and quieter streets in some spots tell their own story too. I could keep going on about winter church socials when everyone crowded in for warmth and stories, summer store visits for ice cream with kids running around, harvest evenings when the whole crew sat tired but happy after a long day the way. Small changes from better roads to factory farms to internet, all piled up, turning the rhythm into something quicker and more spread out. It's not one villain, it's layers of decisions and progress and life moving on, and I ramble because there's so much to unpack, but that's the picture. The 1960s rural life was slower, more hands-on, more tied to land and people today. It's convenient, scattered, and sometimes lonelier. Both have light and shadow. Anyway, friends, I've talked a good while here. If this hits something for you, whether you have roots in the country or just heard tales from grandparents, drop a comment. Tell me your favorite part or what you miss, or even if you like the modern side, better smash that, like if it kept you listening, and subscribe so we can keep chatting these real stories next time. Maybe those empty towns that used to boom, or how the big operations took over, or whatever you guys suggest down below. I read them all. It means a lot. You stuck around this far. Thanks for hanging with my rambling.
Hey there.
I appreciate
Thanks for joining me today.
And I'll catch you soon.
I've got something special
Take it easy
to share
out
with
there.
you.
Stay curious about
So
where
let's
we
dive
came
right
from,
in and get started.
even while living now. All right.
I'm glad you're here with me.
You.